He claims to be Massey. Certainly looks like Massey right down to those face tattoos. But, you know, with AI these days, it's a little hard to believe our own ears and eyes. I do like the outfit, though, and the shoes. They're really distinctive. Speaker says he broke out because he insists that he did not do the things that he's accused of doing, which is car theft and battery involving strangulation. There is now a $50,000 reward on Massey's head, and the same goes for the other remaining jailbreaker, Derek Groves. And speaking of escapees, remember that guy in Arkansas? There's a $25,000 bounty on the head of the former police chief turned rapist and murderer, too. Grant Hardin, who's come to be known as the devil in the Ozarks, literally strolled out of a medium security prison 8 days ago wearing that lawman's uniform that he somehow figured out, fashioned, put together. It's not a guard's uniform, it's something else. So have the professional bounty hunters pounced? Is this kind of a job right up their alley? For that, I turn to Chuck Jordan. He is a former bail bond skip tracer, and he's president of the National Association of Fugitive Recovery Agents. Chuck, it's good to have you. I've been so curious to find out if $50,000 per inmate from New Orleans and $25,000 for the Arkansas, former police chief turned rapist and murderer, if that's the kind of money that brings out the posses.
Well, it's enough to get our attention, and some of our members that happen to be in that area would certainly put a little bit of time into effort into seeing whether or not they can come up with something. Perhaps reaching out to their informants and keeping their eyes open. But it's not $1 million reward, so it's not something that we're going to mobilize our entire organization. That's just the dollars have to make sense in order for us to do that.
Well, $1 million is a hell of a reward. You almost never see that. Do the authorities know that you're out there and that these numbers aren't quite at your threshold? And do they wait like 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 8 weeks before they say, okay, boost the reward, let's get the bounty hunters out?
Well, really, they're not thinking so much about us as they're thinking about people in the public, people that these people might know, friends, relatives, associates, that they think might just turn these people in to get the money. They don't think too much about us unless, we make contact with them and tell them that we have something.
So what's the mechanics of heading out if you're a bounty hunter? Do you go out solo? Do you go out with the old-fashioned posses? How does it work?
Well, I mean, as with anything, we're talking here about a reward case rather than a bail bond fugitive case. But, obviously the reward, has to be divvied up amongst the people that are, working the case. So, the less slices we have to divide up in the pie, the better. So we don't get any more people involved than necessary. So, we're more of a network than a posse. If we have somebody with expertise in a certain area or that has that local knowledge, we'll tap them to work on it. But generally speaking, we're not going to involve any more people than we absolutely have to because, that's less money for us.
What can a bounty hunter do differently than, say, lawmen?
Well, the main difference is we're not what you would call state actors. So we're not tied to a specific jurisdiction. We don't have to read people Miranda rights when questioning them, for example. So we don't have, the same type of formalities that law enforcement would have.
And then is there any kind of hiccups and pitfalls and road bumps that you guys face that obviously maybe not everybody would know about?
Well, law enforcement, the police have what's called qualified immunity that protects them in most situations. We don't have that. So if, we, hit a house or we go to take someone into custody or, somebody gets hurt, something goes wrong, we can be subject to, being sued or even prosecuted in some instances.
I always wonder if you guys get along with the police. Is there sort of a turf war at all, or are they thinking, hey, many hands make light work?
Well, I would say it's on a place-to-place basis and even on a bounty hunter-to-bounty hunter basis. And what I mean by that is most bounty hunters, professional bounty hunters, that is, have a good relationship with law enforcement and a good relationship with the people and the informants that they use in their community. But there are instances where bounty hunters may have an issue with the law enforcement agency where they've had a bad encounter with a bounty hunter that wasn't doing the right thing, or they had issues with, and that might make them hostile towards everybody in the profession. So I would say that it's really a situational type thing.
Chuck, I have 10 seconds left, but I would be remiss if I didn't ask you what a skip tracer is.
Well, a skip tracer is someone that finds someone that doesn't want to be found. Sometimes bounty hunters are called skip tracers, but they also have skip tracers that help find, debtors and things like that as well.
I think my kids would call me a skip tracer for sure. Hey, Chuck Jordan, it's good to have you on. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.